immigration and a judge's ruling in California that has nationwide repercussions. It temporarily halts the Trump administration from making indiscriminate arrests based on race and denying detainees access to lawyers. A poll released this week shows a majority of Americans, 79% in fact, say immigration is a good thing for the country. CBS's Elise Preston in Culver City, California, leads off our coverage. Elise.
Immigrant advocates here in Southern California hope the federal judge's ruling will ease tensions across the area, brought on by the intensifying immigration crackdown and protests.
What you're doing is kidnapping.
A federal judge in Los Angeles ordered the Trump administration to temporarily halt the indiscriminate immigration stops based on race or language. Detainees must also have the right to legal counsel. The immigration raids are sparking chaos and violent confrontations, including this one Thursday at a cannabis farm outside Los Angeles. Immigration rights attorney No Perez.
The clients have all been very scared.
This ruling, does that ease the panic?
It eases the panic for now.
The rulings only apply to 7 Southern California counties, including Los Angeles. The Department of Homeland Security criticized the judge for, quote, undermining the will of the American people.
I don't believe that. I don't believe the American people are for the violation of people's due process or constitutional rights.
A new Gallup poll shows views on immigration shifting. The poll finds that fewer Americans, 30%, want immigration decreased compared to 55% just last year. Amid growing concerns about alleged dismal conditions at a new immigration detention center, Florida lawmakers today got their first look inside Alligator Alcatraz, a makeshift 3,000-bed facility on swampland. The tour was arranged by the state after lawmakers sued to see inside.
Now, under the judge's ruling, agents can no longer target immigrants at businesses like car washes without, quote, reasonable suspicion. The White House says it will challenge the order. Jerika?
Elise Preston in Culver City, thank you. Today, President Trump issued new threats in his global trade war, taking aim at 2 more of America's biggest trading partners. CBS's Willie James Enman is in Bridgewater, New Jersey, traveling tonight with the president. Willie James.
Jerika, good evening to you. Today, the president intensified his trade war, threatening additional tariffs on the European Union and Mexico. The notices are the latest in an escalating tension against America's biggest trading partners.
In a letter sent to the president of the European Commission, President Trump blamed deficits and what he considers unfair trade practices as the reason for threatening 30% tariffs on goods from the European Union. The president also hit Mexico with a new 30% tariff threat after accusing the nation of not doing enough to stop drug cartels. Trump says the new rates will go into effect on August 1st. This follows letters sent to the leaders of nearly 24 countries threatening new tariffs starting August 1st. That includes Canada, which President Trump slapped with new 35% tariffs, while also reviving his unsupported claims about fentanyl entering the U.S. across the northern border. The Canadians, though, pushing back.
Canada is the only country on Earth, along with China, that has imposed so many counter tariffs. So we have had already a very strong response.
The notices from Trump come in the middle of ongoing trade negotiations. So far, the president has only announced frameworks with a handful of nations. The administration says it's focused on changing the status quo.
If you look at some of these trade deficits, they're massive. They're massive. This should have been done a long time ago. President Trump's finally done it. And I think countries understand that.
Some Democrats say Trump's latest tariff threats fuel economic instability.
That is only driving more uncertainty, more instability within the American stock market, with the American consumers and American companies, really hurting American small businesses.
Now, the markets are closed today, but so far, Wall Street investors are largely brushing off the president's escalating tariff threats. The S&P 500 has gained 26% since April. Jarika.
William, and thank you so much. Tonight, the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem is asking the Israeli government for details following the death of an American citizen in the occupied West Bank. Palestinian authorities say 20-year-old Saif Moussalet was beaten and shot by Israeli settlers. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer in Tel Aviv reports there's also new controversy over Israeli plans in Gaza.
Good evening, Jarika. Israel's defense minister created controversy this week with a proposal to build a so-called safe humanitarian city for Gazans who, once they moved in, wouldn't be allowed out again.
Flimsy tents don't offer much protection from the Israeli airstrikes that have been pounding Gaza all week.
There's my tent.
Abdallah Awadallah was one of the millions forced by the Israeli military to leave his home and move into a tent camp.
The smell of death in everywhere here.
Living conditions in Gaza are desperate. But people are at least free to move around the Gaza Strip. This is the extreme south of Gaza, Rafah, now empty of people, where I went with the Israeli military last year. It's on this wasteland of rubble that Defense Minister Katz is proposing to build a closed city for more than 500,000 Palestinians.
We should use that term. It's an internment camp.
Michael Sfard, an Israeli lawyer, says it's a clear violation of international law.
It's a massive crime, and I have to say, as an Israeli and as a Jew, I just cannot fathom how Israeli ministers, cabinet members could cooperate with something like that, given our own history of being deported, persecuted.
Anyway, Awadallah says he would refuse to move to a city run directly by the Israeli military.
It's unsafe. And everyone here don't want to go there just for this reason.
There are no physical signs yet of the humanitarian city, but Michael Sfard says it is in the works.
The process has already begun, and we have to stop it.
How?
It boils down to international pressure.
The Israeli government argues that setting up closed cities would allow them to filter out Hamas fighters, people moving in. But some lawyers, Jarika, say it would simply be illegal to coerce people into relocating at all.
It seems very, very difficult. Elizabeth Palmer, thank you.